Hello, hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today I'm going to show you start to finish how I do a paper bag journal. Now, I might be a little more nitpicky than others on certain aspects of it. I mean, you can just take this paper bag and fold it right in half if you wanted to, and let it go. But I like to clean up these little places here because I think it adds to the cleanness and how your little journal card slides in such. Well, thank you for coming by to visit. I really appreciate you coming by, and I hope you get a chance to try one of these yourself. They're so fun. If you've got like just spare scrap laying around and you need to use it up, this is the perfect little thing to do that with. If you got like extra papers and a certain paper pad that you need to use, that kind of thing, it's the perfect one. Now, this is what I use. I go to Walmart, get the Great Value self-standing giant lunch bags. They are 6.5 by 4 by 12 and 3/8, and it's 50 bags in here. So I do 3 bags per each little journal. So what is that? You get a lot of you get a lot of paper bag journals out of it. I can't think of that right now, guys. But anyway, it's worth your money. Now, if you have like a scrap bag, like a takeout bag, fast food, anything like that, even just some craft paper, I always cut up these little extra square rectangles. They're not very big, but they're the things that's going to take care of this little open-faced guy right here. Now, the reason I cover that is because when I come in here and I will cover my panel here, if I forget it, I've put glue in that area right there. So once I push this down, it's gluing to that back side. And that's my opening for my 2 little journal cards for someone to actually journal with this. I had a cousin, and he really enjoyed writing in these little guys. He could fill one up in a heartbeat, and it was just a great thing to hear because, you know, those are things that you just don't think about. But yeah, they don't take up much room. You can put it in your purse or your knapsack, whatever. And if you need to make a note on something, those little journal cards inside, nobody sees them. They're private, so nobody can see them. Now, this is a paper pad I got at Michael's, sorry, Recollections. Night Sky. So it has all of these cool looking things in it. Like these at the back, I can use probably for the actual little journal cards that'll go inside. Or they can also go to cover some pages that I'll have something else on. Now, these have also, I really liked it, had a variety of things. It had foil papers inside, like you got gold and silver. And then you had like a glitter one with stars on it. I've already got one at the front I've cut up. Now, see, you've got these little panels like that have something to do with constellations, the night sky. There's a little moon imprint. Um, and then you've got the cut apart pages. So I've got Make Your Own Magic, which is going to be perfect because I'm making these to kind of go into the Magic and Mayhem, the event that's going to be on the 26th and 27th of the month. Or maybe it's the 27th and 28th. Anyway, so I'll probably make up a couple of these to go down there. And see, you've got all these great little panels to put over top of those solid pages. Or even pages like this. I mean, some of these I probably wouldn't want to cover. I've already been cutting on this one. And then I've got one of the star ones at the front up here. And another constellation page. But you also get these vellum pages. Check this out. So I think I might cut a vellum page to also put in here, just for some variety. Now I've got this one already cut out. So I'll pull that one out to use. And what I will end up doing here is we're just going to set this to the side. Oh, I did have some sneaky peeks to show you. Oops. Let me do that. Let me show you the sneaky peeks. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, here is the Poe Journal. I posted this on Tuesday, And this is the second one that I did, because this one has a different Poe on the front. It does have the same closure, which I love the little closure guy. So all you got to do is pick it up and pull it off of the little teeth there. I think the more teeth it has, the better it has at gripping the string. So I got in here and I cut these down to where they weren't all up in the way. This one I used a couple of little wood panels that I had in like a, what do you call that? Construction? No, cardstock. But I put the raven up here, since this has the raven on it, and I put Annabelle Lee back here. Those are his two most popular that I know of. And of course, you know, I've got the 3 sheets of paper in here, but this is how I kind of did it. I actually went back in and printed off that one page that had nothing but what he did, you know, all of his poems and things. Now, there was large scale ones, like up here, and then there were smaller scale ones. And then there was one that had like his signature on it. But that's kind of what I did. I kind of just threw in here, you know, some of the names of some of the other things that he had done. But that's just kind of how I ended up decorating it. I've got my kitty. I got the black cat over here, the stars. On the back, you can kind of feel, oh, I can see it on my hand. I sprayed this kind of spray oxide on there, and there's so much, I guess, it's wanting to rub off. Whoopsie. Here's the Nevermore, and I put Desolate here. And this one had the books with the Poe. I've got the moon here. I did a little rip here with the crow. I kind of try to do exactly the same things on each page, but the wording and stuff may be a little different. This has got the devil in the belfry. Such a big sentence, it's hard to get it in there. Here's the cemetery page. I love that. And then here's Intention. I guess that was I guess most of these are short stories. There's the bells. Reverie. Now, my friend Tommy, she likes The Golden Bug. That was like a short story of his. I did not see that in this list, so I don't know. I guess it was just a partial list of the things that he did. He was a busy man, it seems like. And on the other one, I ended up, where's it at? I ended up putting the, let me get my little shutter there off. I put Annabelle Lee on that one, since that was her poem. So that's what I ended up doing there. But yeah, you can see how I did a little different in each one. And then I put the bells there, because I figured that was because of the bells. So yeah, that's just kind of how I ended up decorating it. It wasn't a very massive decorating scheme, but it got the job done. You know, that's all you needed to do. Get the job done. And then you just kind of pull that over top of that, pull up on your cover, and it secures. Now, I was going to throw this one in here because I may end up getting this decorated before and take it down to the shop. But this is like a piece of rice paper. Let me get the insides out here. This is like a piece of rice paper that Wayne sent me. It was really cool looking. And it was a cemetery. So I thought, well, I could do the skulls. Use some of the skull stamps to decorate this up with inside. I had one piece of this material, or this 12 by 12 paper pad, or paper from a pad, and I figured it was too thin because all it had on it was like this rice paper with it. So I doubled the paper. I actually cut this second one in half so I didn't bind up my fold too badly. I did get in here with a little bit of some washi and put a couple layers of this washi in there because that always strengthens your fold, you know. And then I took this piece that was cut off because I used the white side and I inked it really good around the outside edge of it. And then that's what I put this rice paper on because I didn't want anything to hinder all the real pretty light areas to come through. So anyway, then I put in these pockets, which I don't know. I'm probably going to try to do some pocket cards, tags or something to go in there. Now I picked out almost all the rest of my tea-dye papers that I had left. I didn't have very many. So I have 4 of them. It's got like a pattern on them. And then some of them are just, you know, just like a tea-dye. And I forget how many I've got. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I went with 14 because that'll be like 28 pages front and back. And then even more than that if you're only going to be writing on one side of the page. I did a little bit of a stencil here of the block wall. And then I went inside here and did a rock wall. So I didn't know if I was going to do more of the stenciling or not. I'm still thinking about it. Because I may just do that. I might just make it a clean, stenciled kind of a several places in here. And then just do some images with skeletons. It might be all it has. So, all right, enough talking about that. Let's get into what we're going to do here. Now I've got my 3 bags. I've got them all faced up with the little butt, the bottom, oops, let me say bottom, sticking up at us. And I get in here, there's a little extra piece where these 2 sides come together. And I will put a little dot of glue up underneath of there now. Some of them are pretty tight, but others aren't. But I like to have that glued down. Because one time I was putting the journal cards in, and it kept getting hooked on that. And I think it actually ripped it at one point. So here we go with these little rectangular pieces. And what I do, I'm going to try to make a shape there that goes around. That's a little tight. That's going to be that, like that hole there. And then I just kind of tuck it in there real close. And then I'll take my little rag and I'll wipe outwards and I get all that glue off of it. And what it does is it will take and it covers up that little pocket area that may leak through to the next page. And I just like to do that because I forget things. And I will forget that I need to keep the glue off of that section. So anyhow, this is kind of how I do it. I just eyeball it. And then I'll, oops. And then you got to watch because there's like the little inside of the bag there, the little corners. So you don't want to put it on the wrong side of them either. And that's all she wrote. And I'll put this last one in and be right back. Alright, our next step is to fold these in half. And I'll just take it and I'll bring it over as close as possible, lining up top and bottom edges. And sometimes I'll have to stick my finger in here and get it to fold shut. Because sometimes it has a, I don't know, it catches and goes in a little bit. So that's all you got to do here. Easy peasy. Now you don't glue the little bag bottom shut yet. I usually will do that once I have the little panel piece in there that's going to cover that bottom section. Now see, I got a little V that popped in. And that's the only thing you got to like look out for. So it's a good thing I showed you this second set. And here we go again, trying to keep the little V out. You can't always do that. It's got a mind of its own. Okay, now I have to get in here and we've got to cut some stuff up. All right, so usually with this, I will take it, like I'll make the big bottom, the top, the front page. Then I'll take it and flip it so I have an opening page next. And then I'll flip it yet again and have the top or the bottom page next, just so there's a variety. So you have something different on each page front. And sometimes I'll leave those together just so I know how they're going to work out. We will have a panel of this to cut. Since I've already got these cut up, I'm going to go ahead. I don't know if that one's going to be big enough, but it may be big enough to do my little panels. These little inside panels right here is what I'm talking about. See where I've folded it? I like to have a piece that goes in just a little bit, so it's underneath of that part. Before I take a, oh, there's another V. Before I take a strip of glue in there to glue that little part shut for the tuck. It's a little tiny tuck thing that goes in there. All right, so what do I need next? And it's 9 big pages. 1, 2, that's my outside. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you can also do 3 more, 10, 11, 12. So you got 12. And those 3 can get cut down to make that little behind part or the bottom part and that little wedge that goes inside. Let's see, did I already pull one of those out? Yes, I did. Because I'm hoping to have enough to do 2 of these. Now here's that. It's got a cute little moon up there on the side. So that's, I don't know how many pages I'm going to need because I've got, I'll just take one of each one. How about that? I've got some that's going to have to go inside. I've got a constellation one. I do need the moon one. And I've got this one where I've already cut on it. So we'll put that out, put to the side, and that'll be our panel pieces. And I can always come back here, take one of these real nice dark ones. All right, let's stop right there and start cutting. All right, let me bring over my trimmer. And I need some room in this. I've been making up so much stuff. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's do that because you can see all of that. All right. So what I usually do, instead of cutting these 6 by 6, I don't do that. I cut everything at 5 3/4 by 6. Even if I'm using it on the inside as a journal card, I still cut it at that amount because the 6-inch height part does not work. So I get this little strip that's left over. Now I'll take that little strip sometimes and decorate up inside. Now this part that goes across, that's fine to be at 6. So that's the only part that you have that's going to be left over, and it can still be used as decorative elements in this. So this is going to be the height. When it's directional, you have to you have to sit here and figure out which way you want to go. So this one, of course, goes like this. And then I want to make sure that I get my little gewgaws on the bottom here with the moon. So I'll go in that direction for him. Okay. Now if I have any extras here, I usually will just keep them and put them into a later journal. I'll maybe go ahead and take these and split them in half, and they're going to be one for each journal. I cut my crown in half. Oh well. Okay, so me and Mom had to go to Verona today. Boy, we did all kinds of stuff. We went down there to eat because I didn't have nothing in the refrigerator I was thinking about. So went to Hardee's. I got my chicken tenders. Yum, yum, yum. And then we got done eating there and chatting and everything. And went to mail my cousin Tommy's birthday card that needed to get to him earlier this month. I'm always late. Okay, and then I had to go by the post office. Well, that's where I went. The post office to mail that. And then Mom had to go by the bank. Oh, we went by Food Line. That's right. I forgot about Food Line. Got a few things to nibble on. Rotisserie chicken and a couple other things. Some snacky nuts. That type of stuff. But anyway, so while we're sitting there eating, we were talking about stuff. And I think somehow I was mentioning something about the superstitions and such. Well, so Mom had another one to tell me about. Now, I don't know if it's considered a superstition, a wives' tale, or just something to do with common sense. I don't know. I don't know if it's a true element or not. So what happened is she says you can take a tomato, and I guess she said that her grandmother never explained exactly what you would do with it, whether you kind of pulverized it and mashed it up or whatever. But she said that it could be used to clean your hands really, really good. So that was something that she spoke about. I don't know how true that was, but I said, well, does that have anything to do with, how a dog will get sprayed by a skunk, and then it needs to, I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to get in here and figure this out. Let me just cut it off where I've got it there. I said, has that got to do something with how the skunks, spray a dog, and they'll use things from the dog to, not the tomatoes to clean the dog off. I'm trying to think of too many things at once here. So she says, I don't know about that. So that may be how that works. Now I'm thinking about cutting this, going ahead and cutting it, because I think I can add a panel to the top or the bottom somewhere along the way and use that. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that under here. So that was one of the things. And then she starts telling me about, when you go to canned tomatoes and such, to not do it when you're on your, period. I guess I can say that on here. Anyhow, she said you're not supposed to do that at that point in time because it causes them to not seal. I'd never heard of that before, so I don't know if this is something that anybody has experienced or has proven or whatever, but I thought that was kind of odd. Now with this piece, I think I can do 6 and 6. Just because this is not going to be paneled or glued down to the base of anybody for a panel, and I don't have to cut it either, do I? It's just going to be folded. That's right, because it's going to be like a little extra page. Okay, well, then you have to figure out what size you're going to be using for this piece in here and here. These two pieces. They're folded around this way where you can see me. So this one I cut down to about that 5 3/4 size. And as you can see, that's just about right on the money. So I need to cut this one down to the 5 3/4. And usually you want 3 of this size and you want 3 of the other size. So I'm going to take this, and we need a third one of this one. So I'll find some scrap here to use. And then we want to measure, might have to measure and cut this to where it's going to be for this little panel. I can do 2 of them as well. Now some of these papers, you see how that one's stuck out a little further and that one's in? Some of them are just like that. Now I have taken, when they're really, really sticking out, this one's not bad, but when they're really sticking out, I have taken and trimmed that before, and then I've gone up underneath it here and glued on those different layers, just so it's not getting in my way. And it looks better. It's squared off, that kind of thing. All right, so we're going to, and this usually ends up being, I forgot to tell you what the other one was, didn't I? This one, like I said, was like 5 3/4, and it is about 2 7/8. You can make it 3 if you wanted to, because it's going to be tucked up underneath of there. And the more you got leading into it, maybe the better. Now this one is 5 3/4. Nope, I made that one 6. This does not need to be 6. It actually needs to be a little smaller. So let me go ahead and cut it this way, which is 3 3/4. I got me a little bit of poo-pah there to play with. But yeah, this does not need to be, it needs to be a little smaller. We're going to make that one 5 3/4 because I like the little panel and the big panel to be about the same size. Yeah. So yeah, we got a little bit of stars there to play with. We'll go ahead and cut this one back at the 5 3/4. Another little decorative piece. And see, you don't waste anything. You can take and decorate away with all kinds of things. Okay. So we have 2 of those. Now we need 1 more of each. And did I have anything left in here that was scrappy? That's too small to be scrappy. I did have those panels up underneath it here I was tucking away for something later. So, these little guys. I don't think it'll hurt to cut this one down. He's how big? Well, we need him to be 5 3/4, so let's cut this part off. And then we're going to make this 3 3/4. Ooh. I was going to leave the stars and stuff, but I've already started cutting it. Maybe I can work that in somewhere else. Okay. I still need a small piece, but I need it to be another color. Ah, I found this one. This was what I was using on that one with the graveyard. Remember I just showed you on the sneaky peek? So we're just going to take that. It was an extra piece. I didn't have it to be used for anything, but the colors are similar. We will just take that, and that's all I need to cut here until I get around to the inserts. So, what you do now, get everybody kind of organized out. So I will take these 2 because they're 2 different colors. And then I'll take these 2, and one will be for the front panel, and one will be for the back panel. So, that's set for there. And then you just got to figure out what you want where. Like you want to know or do something for your front cover. And that's really pretty. But I need to see if I have something from this cut apart that I want to make for the front cover. Shine like the oh, that would be good. I'll do the stars. And then I'll cut out the shine like the stars and put right in the center of that. That will be perfect. Okay, so let me go ahead and get this cut apart real quick and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got all my little cut aparts over here. I'm going to take and put my panel here. Now, I always use fabric tack because I'm not wasting my more expensive glue, and this goes on pretty nice. The foil part, I don't think it's going to hurt the foil part. Sometimes if it's thinner it may, but once it dries I don't think it'll mess it up. Okay, and then I just kind of wiggledy squiggledy all the way around here. And I like to have my tweezers with me to try it. Now you can see it sweating a little bit with that. There's something in fabric tack that is not happy when it's hit with foil. or I should say vice versa. If you put too much, it's going to really squeege out. So I try not to do too much. So that did just about right. And I don't see that sweating. Yeah, so it went away. All right, so we'll just do the back. And this is all you really have to do on these panels here. Is just keep going around and around, figuring out what you want to decorate on each page. You do want to rotate. Sometimes you can pick the two that are real similar with each other and put them across, so it kind of looks like it's meant to be. Meant to be. Oh, goodness. Okay. So I'm just going to rub this down real good. And then I want to have the shine like the stars on here. And I think just leaving it as is. I don't need anything else around it. And I don't usually come back in with the other glue unless I'm doing like paper to paper kind of situations. So, yeah, right here. I was trying to watch a movie last night and on Tubi, and of course I went to sleep. And I didn't get but like part of the way through. It was something, it was called The Horse Whisperer. It had Robert Redford and the little girl that plays in the Marvel comics. She was Lucy in that one movie. I love that movie. Where she took that drug or something. They tried to make her a mule. They did make her a mule. And some kind of new drug they stuck up inside of her. And it busted. So they thought she would die from it. But no, it made her made her a superhuman. Anyhow, so I didn't get to see everything that was going to happen with that little girl. I'm debating on putting this little dude back here. Just kind of like an ending kind of a thing. I think I like that. It really goes with the front cover piece. And it will help kind of take your eye away from all that shine. That's the other thing. Now, I do have another paper bag journal I was going to do before I decided to do this one. That was owls. Now, of course, this Magic and Mayhem event, it has to do with anything to do with magic. Dragons, Harry Potter, a lot of the Marvel comic people. I know Spider-Man's usually walking around, that kind of thing. So, I figured an owl might make the perfect thing. Now, this is going to be the panel here and here, so this may be the wrong one to choose. Let me set this back, and we'll figure out what else to put here that might work better. I like that little, yeah, kind of like that. That's very neutral, and it's not all dark, because I have that, which has got a really dark background, and then I have like a writing. It's about the same thing, so we'll just go with this. So I'll go ahead and get this down first, and then I'll get in here and get this whole bag set up and ready to go. Whoops. So yeah, I had done a dragon journal before, and it kind of came together really interestingly. I was doing a lot of those different challenges where actually it was like 4 or 5 of us girls that always do the scrapbooking and journals, and we all met in Miss Paintsalot's page. And what happened was we decided to do like a challenge for each other, and one of us would come up with an item to use and how to use it, which mostly we just kind of let each other try to figure out what they wanted to do on their own. And was it me? Somebody came up with paper bag. No, it wasn't me that come up with paper bag. It may have been Ren. I'm not sure. So anyhow, we're trying to come up with ways to use a paper bag. And at that time, I was getting ready to do a dragon, I think. I had a peacock. And this is where I'll flip it up and glue this down now once I've got this attached. And I don't have any seepage there. But what happened was I had a peacock magnet that somebody had given me. Of course, I love peacocks. And what happened was the peacock, it had like his neck and his head, and you could see a little bit of his tail and all that behind him. He looked like an eyeball, like a slit eye of a cat or a dragon. So that got me thinking, do I want to use him as the eye of a dragon? So I did. I don't know where it came from. I wish I had more. It had the bluey green colors in it. And so I used these paper bags, and I used a whole lot of fabric tack. And I took these bags and I kind of cut them in like a strip kind of a method. And then I took them and kind of twisted them, I guess. You just twirl them to where they're real tight. And then I started using a whole lot more fabric tack, and I was gluing them down to the surface of this book cover. It was like pretty good weight, different card stocks and card pizza boxes, things like that. I was just using all kinds of things. So yeah. Oh, that's right. See, I always mess up here. So what has happened is actually that's not going to be on each other. Were you yelling at me? This is actually the one I need to have that lighter one on. It's not going to hurt a thing. They're so far apart, won't hurt a thing. Okay, so do I have anything else here? It's interesting. No. So anyhow, that's what I did. And then around the eye, I glued the eye in there, and then I built it up around his eye like it was ridges. And that was about all you could see. You couldn't see anything else. You could just see around the eye. Didn't see any of the nose or the mouth or nothing. And then I had one, I think it was Caroline's Craft Tree. I was on there, and I won something. I don't know how I won it. I can't remember now. But I got a free digital. And she had one that was called Dreaming of Dragons. And so I printed out a whole lot of that and put into this book. And I kind of made it really interesting, too, the way I arranged the papers, because it was an odd size. So I was happy the way it turned out. Oh, my little dragon. It was, and I've got these two concubines. I don't know what you call them, but Mom had them, and I think I can scrub them up a little bit to make them a little see-through better, but you can see through it. So I need to get back here, and I need to paint the pupil of his eye, and then maybe more of it, like an eye look to it. But I'm going to try to get 2 of those made up for this event. I don't know if it's going to happen, y'all, because there's a lot going on to get a lot of stuff ready for this. I've got all the Halloween ones done, except for the simple journals. I got to get them worked on. This one's got a little sunshine on it. So let me use that. And then down here, oh, that was a scrap piece. So it's, yeah. It's a lot to get ready for it. And I thought I had gotten started early enough with these Halloween journals, but it always creeps up on you so fast each year. Because, see, I know you're saying, well, it's not until the end of October, but I'll be in West Virginia for a week of that. And then we sometimes will have to prep and figure out what we're taking and what we're going to do. I know we have to get back to the Hodge Cemetery because, don't you know, something happened last year. It got cold. I know that. So it gets too cold, your pen won't write, and you're standing there shaking in your boots, which we were. So we just didn't get back. The weather just turned on us too fast. First couple days, beautiful. Really beautiful. And then it started going from there. I think we had a rain day, so that's usually when we'll spend a lot of time at our courthouse. We'll go in there and play around with deeds and marriages, looking up, trying to find a birth, and all those kind of things. Alright, so we're going to stick this little guy right here. And as you can see, it's just the same old going along here. So now I'm back. We've gotten that little panel done. And see, this is a tuck right now. And then this will be, and you want to get in here and make sure you didn't glue any of those little sections shut. And that's going to be for 2 of the journal cards. And then here, this could be used to write on, that kind of thing. So I'm going to get in here and finish these panels real quick so we can end up decorating this the rest of the way. I mean, I'm already at 41 minutes. It's just ticking around. So I will be right back. Okay, so I mostly got this together. And I think this is the back side. We got to fold this in half. You can do that with your fingers. Vellum's pretty thin, but we got to get it in here. And I'm thinking this first area is the best place for it. Like that. And then I've got my rubber band here. Now, I was using thinner rubber bands, and but they kept breaking. They rot after a while, so I got a thicker rubber band. I actually got to where I was putting 2 rubber bands on each paper bag journal. But I thought, well, let me try these thicker ones and see if they don't hold up longer. So I'm giving them the try to see what's going to happen. So we still have all of our little goodies here to decorate with. I've got 2 panels to go in the 2 different, or there's 3 of them, but I've only got 2 so far. Actually, I could cut one of these. I had a little bit of that one left, so we're going to use it. Now, what you might want to do on your little squares is just to nip the corners. I was going in here and using my corner rounder, and that kind of wears that thing down. I was a lot of these to have to do. And so we also have to have at least 6 of these for the inside. And I'm trying to just rotate them. So I've got a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So that's almost 6. I need one more. I'll take another dark one because you can't really do much with the dark one. So I've got a few of these already for the next one. All right, and we're going to do the same situation with the nipping. I'm going to nip away. All right. Oh, and I remember that girl's name, Scarlett Johansson. She's been in all kinds of good movies. Ghost in the Shell. She was one of the Tudor sisters in a movie way, way back. She was a little girl in this. I forgot to look at the date of the movie, but I mean, Robert Redford, he hadn't been in a movie for a long time. And that girl, that was the mother. Now, the guy that played the dad, he is the one that is my dinosaur man, Alan Grant, on Jurassic Park. So, And he looked like he was about the same age as when he did the first Jurassic Park movies. So there we go. All right, I got these all ready to go. These 3 are ready to go. So we will do our decorating, and then we'll get in here and finish this off. Okay, so I have the little vellum piece, which looks really cute because you can kind of see through that to the paper beyond. And the same here. And then as you can see, I just used some of those strips and decorated. Now this is actually a belly band. I did make a belly band. And so this could go down in that belly band because I need something big to go in there. Alright, yep. I think that'll work just right. And then we have, let me go back here to where I have, this one. I'll just stick this one in here. I'll stick us a couple of cards in here as we're going along. And we'll come back and do some gluing. Now these two are going to be matchy-matchy, but that's all I got to, to put in there. Too matchy. But yeah, Scarlett Johansson, she's like the widow. She's Widowmaker or Widow in the comic book series stuff. DC Comics or the other comics. Heck, I don't know how many different comics there are. Okay. And then we have this one's going to go in here. And we got a last one back here for the last of the journal cards. And see, these are just the easiest little guys to make. They're very cute. You can decorate them up with anything you got. You got some just plain kind of papers that you want to get rid of. Go ahead and get rid of them. Now, I like that make your own magic for up here at the very front. So let me push this up a little bit and get all my little goodies. I've only got 4 goodies left, kind of lined up here. So we're going to go ahead and use our regular glue. I don't know if I want to put this on the stars, though. That's kind of covering all the stars, isn't it? It is. It's covering all the stars, so we don't want to do that. We'll come back in here. I don't know. I might just do this. Let's just do this. You can glue to vellum with the Bearly Arts glue, and it does not wrinkle. That's the one thing that I was always told that the art glitter glue would do. It would wrinkle your vellum. But Bearly Art glue, no. See, and I can even see the little stars even better. Okay, so did we want to have anything up here? Maybe a little ticket? Yeah, I can see more of the stars with just a little ticket guy going across here. So let's just do that. Yeah, that's cute. That's your ticket to outer space. Oh, goodness. Okay. I kind of like all that. I don't want to cover the sun. I could come back in here like that. I do need to trim that. You can see a little bit of the shine from somebody else. It's throwing me off. Okay. Let's actually go back in here. That lightens that up a bit, and you can write on it. That's another plus. Whereas this brown, you can't write on. So I was expecting it to be a background for something, and it is. Okay. And you can see your little strips behind there. Perfecto. Perfecto. Okay. We have our last page back here. And I really don't want to cover that up. Let's take and put that there because it kind of mimics the moon over here. There we go. There. Oh, didn't scoot over far enough. Okay. I think that's good. If I if I would have tilted it a different way, I think I like that though. That's tilted that way and these are tilted that way. Kind of gives you a variation going there. And then I've got this one, which may go really good right there. I don't really have nothing going on. It's too big. I've already got kind of a decoration on this page. This one I didn't have anything. But I think here's good. Now I may get in here and do a few more things. I don't know. I also may steal some of these word panels from somewhere else. You never know with me. I do need to make a moon. I wonder if I can't just make a moon from that one die cut set and stick it in here. But I don't know. You gotta almost do it with the same colors. If I took that silver panel at the back of this pad and then the gold and layer that on top of each other, that might make a pretty decent moon. Let me check on that. All right, here is the set that I'm talking about. It's 666386. It's the Thinlits. It's got all the bats, and it's got 2 different size moons. It's called Moonlight. So I think I could take the smaller moon and its outline. I don't want bats. It's not really a bat kind of a situation right here. But I am going to cut 2 of those out. And all I have to do is cut me enough for 2. About like that, I think. I'll make it a little bigger because my eyeball is not always on track. And this will be for 2 different books or 2 different little journals. I've still got enough here if I wanted to make these like a panel in one of them. Have a real pretty panel. Okay. I'll be in here making another one of these as soon as I get done recording. Now, I need my little cutter. I think this will work. Let me see. Right on the money. Right on the money. Okay. Let's pull this little guy over here. Get this on here and see what we can do. Now, if I got that big old cutter up here, it's going to make all kinds of racket and jingle jangles and all that kind of stuff. I think the lighter color needs to be the inside. So this is the inside, right? Yeah. I don't know if I cut this down enough. I think it needs to be just a tad more. Okay. Because this is only like 2 3/4 or something. Okay. I may have to get in here with a little bit of tape. Because it is wanting to wiggle just a little. So just take some cheap washi. And we're going to settle that little guy right there. Oh, I think I got it on the wrong one. That's the cutting plate. Alright, redo that. Pull it back a little bit just so I can get it all under the cutting surface. Oh. Alright. Sometimes it does not want to go in there. Oh, there. Okay. Alright. And I need to do... Oop, it cut it all. I need to do one more. Okay, now we're onto our outside of our moon. I cut that down a little bit and it still don't look like it's quite small enough. Oh, okay. There it goes. It's gripped it. I didn't cut it down far enough. Okay. Let me pull my mat back where it's supposed to be. Yeah, see, I kind of didn't quite do it right. But there we go. So I have all these little pieces and parts. And I got another one to cut out too for my second book. Okay. Okay, so let's get in there and we're going to put these two together. I know this is going to slide around a little bit because this is shiny. We're gluing onto shiny surfaces, so that always happens. You just have to watch out. And if you get a little bit of glue on your shiny surface and you don't want it to be there, just wet a little tissue or something and wipe that off real quick. You might even have a little wet tissue on hand already dampened when you go to do this. So we are going to put that right there. Sometimes you don't get it quite right. Look at me. You don't get it quite right, but that's okay. As long as you don't see your backside, you can trim that part off. That's all. That's all it needs to be done. So that's what we'll do. We got that on there. And now we're going to get in here and trim off that little bit that we don't want. I don't know why I got white on there. Okay. Everything is going roses today. Okay. I gotta get out there and start on a vegetable soup. So, alright, let's find where we want that to be. Where was it? Was it here? Maybe here. I didn't have anything on that either, so I just don't know. That might be kind of cool to have it right there. You don't always have to have something up there. Let's just put it back here. I think that's kind of neat. You got the moon there, and then you'll have the full moon over here. I kind of like that. Whee! I picked the little one because I thought I was going to put it on like the side panel part. You know me, always changing my mind. Okay, so I think this is done. You know me, I may find something else that I want to stick in here. I got this one little die cut set. This little guy from Sizzix, I got him a long time ago. He's 663414. You got like a satellite, you got a spaceship with a little fire, you got like a star, Saturn, another moon, and the Earth. So I may get in here and do this, and it's called Space. So I might actually do some little cutouts of that and put throughout here that where it needed something else. Some of them need something else. So let's flip through it real quick, guys, and then we're going to have to go. So here we go. Here's a cute little panel. I love that little vellum panel. That's cute. I have to make some more of these little... I've got another one over here. I don't know what it is. I have to look. And so this was a belly band. Then we have our little... This needs something. Maybe a little rocket ship or something there. And then this needs something. And then this needs something. So it was a little out. Now see this one? I'm tempted to cut that off. And when I do, I have to get back up in here with a little bit of my glue, especially with my needle nose, and cut that and glue that back in to where it's secure. So I'm probably going to be doing that too. I really like that though. That's neat. Okay, well, I hope everybody enjoyed seeing that. It's got a little bit of bulk to it with that extra panel in there. So everybody, I really appreciate you saying I had a few of you say that my Halloween journals were the best ones they had seen this season, and I really, really appreciate that because I have been out there looking too for some good inspiration for Halloween journals and things, and I just wasn't seeing anything. I thought maybe it was just me and I'm looking in the wrong place. But anyway, I really appreciate that. So, all my subscribers and viewers, thank you for coming by to visit, and I will see you again soon, hopefully. Bye bye.